Hello, good morning. It's always a pleasure to have you join us on morning newspaper review show on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Thank you for joining us as always. And we will be going through the headlines today, so many of them. And after that, during the second half of the show, Mr. Salma Salame is already standing by, or rather sitting by, if you may, waiting for that aspects of the show. All right, let's move on as we start off with the Guardian newspaper. Conflicting court orders on convention. PDP factions clash. That's from the Nation newspaper. Makinde making Ibadan livable, says Obasanjo. And Governor Okwebolo lists achievements at first anniversary. And still staying with the Nation newspaper, Michi's problem not Tinubu but political irrelevance, says Lagos APC. APC Oshomole others call Governor high. All right, we move on to the Cable newspaper now. Federal government adopts English for child education, scraps mother tongue policy. And EFCC goes tough, fires officer accused of stealing 22 million naira exhibit. And on the foreign scene, Brazil, Canada, Chile, 13 countries sign deal to tackle climate disinformation at COP30.
Hi Abuja, this is D.
All right, despite not meeting OPEC quota in 3 months, Nigeria remains Africa's top oil producer. And Nnamdi Kanu files motion to stop judgment in terrorism trial. And Damagu-led PDP dares Wike's camp, insists National Convention will hold. Eagles to resume training as NFF says allowances issues have been resolved. And Tinubu to editors use criticisms to build, not destroy Nigeria. The Daily Trust is next now. I lost 120 million naira goods cash to market fire. That's from a trader. Very sad there. And fans stabbed to death during football match in Plateau. And soldiers kill suspected bandits in Benue raid. And police arrest gun runner in Delta. And Wike's outburst will defend every officer on lawful duty. That's from the Minister of Defense. And Senate approves Tinubu's request to borrow 1.15 trillion naira. All right, Abuja land issue. CDS Oluyede breaks silence on altercation between Wike naval officer. And Senate denies alleged plots to remove Akpabio. Senate approves Tinubu's 1.15 trillion naira loan request. And Wike versus naval officer, we will defend every officer on lawful duty. And these stories you can find on the front page of the Tribune newspaper. The New Telegraph is next now. PDP convention, Oyo Court extends interim order to proceed till Friday. And Makinde making life livable, comfortable for your residents. That's from former President Olusegun Obasanjo. All right, still staying with the New Telegraph, Ogun government targets 500 billion naira IGR for 2026 budget. And 1 year in office, we are focusing on restoring trust, rebuilding Edo. That's coming from Governor Okpebola. Security Council meeting, Gombe government adopts far-reaching measures to strengthen security. Okay, the Guardian newspaper now, yeah. Reverse ban on sachet alcoholic beverages. Manufacturers urge federal government, NAFDAC. And Obi says unpaid Super Eagles allowances reflect misplaced national priorities. Senate dismisses rumors of impeachment against Akpabio. And Nigeria records 566,000 leaked accounts amid 90.6 million naira or million global breaches. Okay. House probes 12 trillion naira usage by DFI's 20 trillion naira abandoned project. We move on to the Sun newspaper now. Tinubu to Nigerians, we must join hands to defend democracy. NIS reforms report shall help transform Nigerian sport. Engineer Kaida. House of Reps summons NSC over Bashali petition. This newspaper is next now. Tinubu to editors, criticize government policies but don't compromise national unity. National Assembly approves Tinubu's plan to raise 1.5 trillion naira to bridge 2025 budget. And Governor Adeleke presents 2026 appropriation bill to House of Assembly. And Defense Minister reaffirms government's commitment to protect officers on lawful duty. The Punch newspaper is next now. Wike naval officer clash. Ex-generals fume as FG orders probe. Tamawa ADC chairman resigns as Fintiri's aide. And FG scraps mother tongue as teaching language in primary school. National Assembly official jailed for 4.8 million naira job scam. And Victor Osimhen is Super League's most valuable player. Lagos announces 8 months traffic diversion on Lekki-Ajah corridor. And Bamidele Kalu differ on alleged plot to impeach Akpabio. National Assembly approves Tinubu's 1.5 trillion naira domestic loan proposal. And the Vanguard newspaper is next now. Tinubu backs NGE's proposal for media tax relief, VAT exemption. And on PDP crisis, court extends order permitting national convention till Friday. And on Wike, no officer or soldier on lawful duty will be punished. That's from the Defense Minister. All right, now, on penpushing.com. We have some stories here. Pen Pushing, a source of authentic news globally. The first story on the front page here is police foil robbery, recover operational vehicle in Ogun State. And still on penpushing.com, Nigerian editors urge Tinubu to rescue media industry, seeks tax relief. And for more on penpushing.com, check out the publication. It's a source of authentic news globally. All right, we'll take a short break now. When we return, we will dive into the second half of the show.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Wake up, Abuja. Rise and shine. Get ready to start your day on Sunrise at Citizen. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7. Join us from 5 a.m. to 12 noon as we bring you the latest news, trending topics, and the most music to kickstart your day. From politics to entertainment, sports to lifestyle, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on our interactive segments, contests, and giveaways that will keep you engaged and entertained. Start your day with a smile. So, set your alarms and wake up to the best morning show in the city. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja's go-to station for news, entertainment, and more. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, 5 a.m. to 12 noon, Monday to Friday. Let's get this day started.
All right, thank you for staying tuned. It's still Newspaper Review on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. And this is the second half of the show where we open the phone lines and also bring in Mr. Salman Salami for in-depth analysis of some of the stories we have reviewed this morning. Our phone lines are open now. You can call us on 0903 22 29797. That's 0903 22 29797. You can also call us on 0818 22 205. Don't forget, you can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of the lines, and we will be glad to read your message. All right, so let me formally welcome Mr. Salman Salami, Chief Operating Officer, Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja. Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Very good morning to you, Lawrence, and very, very good morning to our teeming super citizen listeners.
All right, straight off, let's start with the cable newspaper. This story is virtually all the newspapers today, and that's talking about the editors forum, editors conference currently going on in Abuja. And Tinubu to editors use criticisms to build, not destroy Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has asked Nigerian editors to use criticisms to build the country and not destroy it. He spoke during the annual conference of the Nigerian Guild of Editors at the State House banquet in Abuja. The president emphasized the role of editors in shaping public conversations for the sustenance of the country's democracy, noting that despite Nigeria's diversity, Agreement must never translate into the erosion of national cohesion. He urged media executives to exercise their influence to shape public understanding of issues with a strong sense of national duty. Salam.
What a good development. Those who matter in the media industry, I'm talking of the highest echelon of the professional members, are in Abuja here. And they were guests of Mr. President at the villa yesterday. I did not go because of the exigency of time and the job here, because we must be here to give you the blow-by-blow account of what is happening in the country, not necessarily at the villa alone. So we didn't go, and the Grandmaster himself didn't go. But we were with some of our colleagues yesterday in the night, and we had snippets of what transpired at the villa. Mr. President, being a media-friendly president, did a lot of things behind the scene with them. But the most important one, which he said, was that honestly, Nigeria has the most vibrant media in the whole of Africa. But please, I am not saying you should not criticize me, but be very, very constructive in your criticism. And as normally he would do, he pleaded with them to please softly, as our mothers they say. Let me spill the bean. He told them that really, you guys did not spare me the first day when I said subsidy is gone. In fact, yesterday when we were exchanging batters with some of our colleagues, in fact, Mr. President was so much rattled, and he did not mince words that honestly, I will never take you guys for granted. In fact, there is this American president who said that he will never go to bed, or whenever he wakes up in the morning, he must always read the newspapers. And that was when he said that if you don't like the heat,
stay away
from the kitchen.
All right, Mr. Salami. Yes, I read the president's speech yesterday, and I think the president said all the politically correct things to say, and he also urged the media to play its part as the fourth estate of the realm. Yes, government in and out will always want a press that will pamper it. It's natural. But in as much as the president expects the media to be partners in progress, the media will also expect the government, not necessarily the president alone, governors, commissioners, heads of MDAs, people who hold public office, to also be forthright in their relationship with the press. We have this, I don't know whether it's a colonial mentality or whether it's a hangover of our colonial history. The average public officer would rather speak to a foreign media than the Nigerian media. If they have an important issue to discuss, they would rather do it outside the country. And when they are outside the country, even their attitude, their body language to the media there completely changes. But when they come to Nigeria, they see the media as irritant. Most of them, not all. They issue press releases and they just think that you run with a press release. Understand? In my training as a journalist, press releases are not supposed to be the basis for a news report. They are just supposed to give you a sort of maybe a background if you need one, or to balance your stories and stuff like that. So it's a two-way, it's a symbiotic relationship. The government, leaders, officials should play their part, while the media will also play its part. Nobody from independence can accuse the media of not being patriotic. One of the institutions in this country that have stood firm since even before the independence. During the colonial era, the media was on the forefront. During the military era, the media was in the forefront. And the media will continue to be like that. The media is always pro-people over the years. So, yes, we appreciate the concerns of the president, but also leaders must also do their part.
Frankly speaking, Mr. Lawrence, the media has a duty to the people. There's this constitutional duty that the media, the press should hold government accountable to the people. We are responsible to the people, not the government, so to speak. And what is news? News is what government don't want people to know.
Yes.
Not press release.
Every other thing is
It's PR. Every other thing is PR. Well, like we have it in Citizen FM here that we will criticize the government. We must criticize the government, especially if there is the need to do so. What we will not do is we will not be hostile.
Exactly. We will not be hostile. We'll do our job, hold government to account, and let the people know. And also, this idea of throwing the issue of national security, always using it. The mainstream media, at least, I'm not talking about the social media, but the mainstream media over the years, Mr. Salami, has always been protective of the nation when it comes to issue of national security. Because you and I, as editors, as people in the highest level of journalism, we don't go to town with up to 20% of the kind of information we have.
Sure.
We balance the interests of the nation, especially the traditional media, especially broadcasting arm of journalism. So it's always been there. We know our duties. Yes, once in a while you have one or two people who will always fall out of line. Fine. It's always like that, even in other professions. But generally speaking, the Nigerian media, without sounding immodest, has lived up to its billing.
We don't need anybody to even tell us. We have. And like Chinua Achebe said, that the lizard that climbed the high Iroko tree and looked down, he said, if nobody even prays, he knocked his head like this. Say, if nobody praises him, he will praise himself.
Okay, and just on a lighter side of it, I remember the quote, that famous quote of Thomas Jefferson, who says he will always prefer newspapers, that's the media, without government, over government, without the media. So that's it. We wish our colleagues from across the country a beautiful stay in Abuja as they brainstorm ahead.
They are already enjoying Abuja.
I know.
They are already here.
Mr. Salami, we don't seem to be hearing the last of the PDP crisis. The convention, the controversial convention, is built for Friday, 2 days from now, or even tomorrow. I think tomorrow. So the ancient city of Ibadan is going to host PDP members from across the country. But there's still a lot to talk about. The Nation newspaper has a story: conflicting court orders on convention, PDP factions clash. Confusion in the PDP over the weekend national convention widened yesterday. Two factions gave conflicting directive to members. The Damagu faction said it will go on. The Wike Anyanwu faction announced its cancellation. The Damagu faction, relying on the Ibadan High Court's extension of the ex-party order following the convention to go on, urged delegates to ignore the call-off order by the other faction. And while the Wike Anyanwu faction warned that delegates should not attend the convention because they would be contravening the July 31 judgment by a federal high court presided over by Justice James Omotosho. Salami.
It is no more funny, and we all know that it is worrisome. But the truth is this: to be or not to be.
That is the question.
I want to believe that the legal issue will be sorted out today. You know how politicians do their thing. Let us have our hands crossed and and see how it goes.
All right, Mrs. Ami, we move on to the Punch newspaper. Meanwhile, the phone lines are open. I can see someone trying to flash. Please call. The number is 0903 2229797. 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205. The Salami, the Punch newspaper. This story is also in virtually all the newspapers today. Federal government scraps mother tongue as teaching language in primary school. The federal government has reversed its 2022 national language policy, which stipulates that the language of instructions from early childhood to primary 6 should be the mother tongue or the language of the immediate community. Speaking on Wednesday in Abuja, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, said English will now be the language of instruction in Nigerian schools from primary through tertiary levels. Alausa spoke at the opening of the Language in Education International Conference 2025 organized by the British Council. Said the Nigerian children have been performing poorly in public examinations because they were taught in the mother tongue. Citing evidence-based, data-driven research by his ministry, he said the policy had destroyed the education system as pupils and students often advance to higher classes without learning essential skills. Mr. Salami.
It is becoming funnier in this country because of our this policy somersault. Well, the question is this: what is a mother tongue? Even the so-called teachers who are supposed to teach the students, do they really understand the mother tongue? Or do they speak the mother tongue? To me, in China up till tomorrow, the language of instruction is Chinese. Ditto in Japan. To me, I think mother tongue should be the first language through which instructions should be passed across to our children. Let me tell you, you understand it better if you are taught in your mother tongue. And there is no language on earth that cannot be taught in one's mother tongue. I have not read the data and the research, the outcome of research that the Honorable Minister
is talking about. But I am a psychologist. I read psychology, and I know what it means to teach in your mother tongue, especially at the formative years. Well, I think let's leave it at that first and get more information so that we can do what we are expected to do as journalists. Okay, Mrs. Salavi, the question is, what is our mother tongue? Because naturally, when you hear of, children needs to be taught in their mother tongue, people will think, indigenous language that you grew up to, that you speak in your community, the language that is dominant. But these days, parents speak English to their children, even at home, from when they were born. So technically, that's our mother tongue, because these children grew up from before they start talking. The first language they hear at home is English language. No matter where they live, people, parents, especially those who think that they are elitist, that they want their children to speak not just the English language, they want their children to speak British English. You see them so proud of it. They speak Fone, they are proud of it, and that's it. So technically speaking, that's the mother tongue now. It's not Yoruba, it's not Hausa, it's not Efik, it's not Ibibio, and everything. All across the world, across the country, except maybe in extremely rural communities, that's where you will find parents who will speak their native language. But across the city centers, even me that I'm talking, I'm guilty of it. I'm just now trying to make sure that my children learn our language, which is a shame.
But the government has now told you that it's not necessary. But to me, I don't think that. You see, culture is something that is very, very important. And the totality of our ways of life is what they call culture. And honestly, I do not think it is a particularly good development. There is the need for the government to revisit this decision.
Mr. Sami made a point. Even the teachers who are supposed to impact knowledge, how versatile are they in the respective mother language across? Some of the teachers, and don't forget that majority of the people we call teachers, especially at the primary school level, especially private schools, are students who are waiting admission in the university and they don't have anything to do, so they go to teach and collect 30,000 naira. Those are the people that are teaching our children, Mr. Salami.
It is sad. If only we understand what we are doing. I keep on saying that any society that entrusts the future of their youth to the worst in the society, then why are we complaining? Why should we complain? Those who know what education really is, they always allow their brightest to teach their future leaders, and that is the way to go.
All right, I think this is an issue that one day we'll devote a whole program to trash it out. But meanwhile, let's move on to the Senate. Bamidele Carlo differ on alleged plots to impeach Akpabio. And leader of the Senate, that's Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, on Wednesday dismissed claims suggesting any move to impeach Senate President Godswill Akpabio, describing such reports as unfounded and capable of sowing confusion within the upper chamber. Bamidele's clarification followed comments by former Chief Whip of the Senate, Orji Uzor Kalu, who on Tuesday revealed that there had been past, though unsuccessful, attempts by some senators to unseat Akpabio. Kanu, while speaking with journalists at the National Assembly, has said that efforts to destabilize the Senate leadership failed after key members intervened to preserve unity in the chamber. And however, addressing the issue during plenary, Bamidele made it clear that there was never any plan or discussion among senators to remove the Senate President. Mr. Salama.
Well, thank God that the two of us at different time had covered this National Assembly. And we know how it pans out there. And
especially the proverbial banana peel.
In fact, thank God that they were not peeling any banana. And Lawrence, I don't think there is much to say over this other than to see it the way it is. Politics.
But I think that both of them are even saying the same thing. Senator Bamidele is saying there are no plans to. I think let's just leave it at that. But I think discerning members of the public can hazard a guess as to what is going. But the good news there is that the Senate President's seat is safe, at least for now. All right, the Punch newspaper, and this is a story that has continued to in fact, the internet is almost exploding. The Wike naval officer clash. Over 48 hours now, is still number one on the media space. And this is how the Punch put the story. Wike naval officer clash, ex-generals fume as FG orders probe. Former military generals have expressed outrage over Tuesday's clash between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and a naval officer identified as A. Yerima over alleged land grabbing. The veterans, in separate interviews, asserted that such confrontations undermine the chain of command and institutional respect. In the wake of the outrage that trailed the incident, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Baduru, said the ministry is investigating the matter. He assured that the armed forces would protect personnel carrying out lawful duties. Mr. Salami.
Lawrence, you don't need to be taught of what they call esprit de corps. It has always been there, and it will continue to be there.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we gave it a good treat yesterday, and just for the benefit of those who did not listen or who did not monitor or who changed the dial, because we always say don't touch the dial. It is always 93.7 every now and then, because we intellectualize whatever is going on in the country responsibly. We said it, that the altercation or the exchange of verbal words that transpired between Minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, and a naval officer was unnecessary. That was to say the least. There are due processes, and there are processes as to what should be done. We said it, and we remain, we still hold on to it, we stand by it, that there is the need for the correct way of behavior. There should be ethical standard. There should be good comportment and courage. And there is a way that public office holders should go about their jobs. It is the office, not necessarily the man. But the man makes the office. And the office is as big as the man is. A situation whereby the minister will go out. Nobody is saying the minister should sit down in the office all the time. If there is the need to go out, he should. But while you are outside on duty, you should apply wisdom.
Exactly, Mr. Salame. You know, yesterday we trashed out all the talking points involved in this matter. We also drew attention of the public to the fact that we need to revisit our operation as a country, especially how we deploy the military. We also said that in a situation where you have a strictly civilian matter, there is no need to deploy the military. We have very good use of our military. We're even complaining that officers and men are stretched. And so it really doesn't make much sense to me to deploy soldiers, especially officers. These are well-trained men with scarce resources. You now deploy them to go and stand guard over a parcel of land.
As if they are vigilante.
For over years. It doesn't speak well of how we operate, whether you like it or not. That's on one part. Then on this other part, we also said that the drama was unnecessary, especially because of the altercation and the use of language by the minister and everything, which was not really necessary. In fact, Mr. Salame, I don't know whether you saw that video about a similar incident that happened in Lagos a few years back with Governor Sanwo-Olu. This time it was the police officers. And the man simply just turned back. He said, okay, don't worry, I'm going to put a call to the IG and the Attorney General.
That was the way to go.
That was it. It was not necessary at the end of the day, because we have to learn to resolve issues, not through
decently,
not through force and everything. Maybe it's because of long years of our military experience, and that's why when we tell people that you don't know the damage of military rule to the psychic of the people over the years.
Lawrence, I have refrained from discussing the specifics, but there is one that caught my fancy when the minister reminded the captain that where was he when he was already. Honestly, I think they are just letting off.
No. When you play the age card, it doesn't really fly. Because if we are going to talk about age, the oldest person should be the president of the country.
Not
but I think let's leave that. Mr. Salame, let's move on to another issue that is of paramount importance to us, because it affects our health, and that's on NAFDAC. And we have the story: reverse ban on sachet alcoholic beverages, manufacturers urge FG NAFDAC. The Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Segun Ajayi Kadri, has expressed shock and concern over the recent directive issued by NAFDAC to outrightly ban the production and sale of alcoholic packages in sachet. The directive followed a resolution reported to have been passed by the Senate. The DG stressed that it is concerning to note that this unexpected development contradicts all stakeholders' efforts on the matter and is completely at variance with the subsisting position of the House of Representatives. Mr. Salami, are we speaking about the same thing?
Well, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria seem not interested in the pandemic that is now visible even to the blind in the society. The abuse of alcohol by the underage and indeed by most Nigerians is worrisome. And it has reached a level where nothing other than outright ban should be enforced, no matter what man says. The media, I think we are on the same page with NAFDAC, not because of anything, because it's the right path to trade. And we know that the government will not pander to the whims and caprices of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. They seem to be solely interested in commerce and profit, not minding the social implication. Lawrence, if they don't know, perhaps we should tell them today that it has reached a pandemic level now. The addiction is such that most parents are not happy.
For me, I'm just a little bit worried about the choice of words by the MAN when they say they are shocked about this sudden. Mr. Salami, this is something that started in 2018. Remember when this issue first came up, a 5-year moratorium was given. And even at that, 2024, when all this thing, another extension was given. So where is the shock here? Where is the sudden development here?
The shock is that he didn't drink that time, perhaps.
All right, Mr. Salami, let's move on back to the cable before we call it quits. There's this story here. Nnamdi Kanu files motion to stop judgment in terrorism trial. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, has filed a motion seeking to hold the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, slated for November 20. On November the 7th, Justice James Omotosho fixed the date for judgment after Kanu failed to open his defense, having exhausted all opportunities given to him. In a fresh motion filed on Tuesday, Kanu asked the court to restrain itself from delivering the judgment, arguing that the processes were conducted under repealed and non-existent laws and in violation of a Supreme Court directive. The IPOB leader said that the court acted contrary to Section 287 of the 1999 Constitution, which mandates all courts to give effect to the decision of the Supreme Court. Mr. Salami.
I will be glad to know how the motion was filed. Was it filed by a lawyer, or was it filed by Kanu himself? Because we had learned that he has chosen to defend himself. So this very motion we are talking about, who filed it? A lawyer filed it on his behalf, or he filed it by himself in his capacity as his own counsel, which I understand is perfectly right to do. But be it as it may, I think Kanu should please listen to good advice. Lawrence. I said lawyer. I wanted to say Lawrence. I said lawyer. I don't know whether you are still thinking of becoming one. Anyway, let us see how it pans out. But I want to believe that he needs a counsel. He's standing a trial on a charge that is very, very important. Lawrence, He should not take chances.
All right, I think we have even gone beyond that now because the judge has fixed, I think next week, Thursday next week should be the date for a judgment. So the issue of whether he gets a lawyer now or not, we've gone past that. The judge gave him all the opportunities and he pointed out the implications of his action and he still went ahead with it. So I think we've gone past that now. As you said, we just wait and see what will happen in the unfolding days to come. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Salman Salam. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. It's Thursday. I wish it was Friday. We'll say happy hour from our Oga. But well, Oga can still do happy hour Thursday and Friday. There's no law that forbids that now.
Well, I'm not unmindful of the fact that you are from a
Don't
state.
go there.
You are from a state where happy hour.
I knew you were going there. All right, thank you so much, sir. It's always a pleasure. Have a great day, sir.
The pleasure is mine.
All right, that's our package on the show today. Tomorrow is Friday. Join us 7 a.m. bright and early. My name is Lawrence Umaite. Enjoy the rest of your day.